Alright guys, for those of you who have gone through the free mini course and reached out to me, thank you so much. I loved hearing your positive feedback, and I loved hearing what countries were your preferred ones, where you're thinking about maybe setting up a business. That's amazing. And some of you also asked how the Global Tax Strategy Design course is different to the free mini course. Well, within the Global Tax Strategy Design course, we go into much further details, especially around business setups. I'll be going into estimated costs, ongoing costs, what you really need for the business, what share capital you need, what other requirements you need to fulfill to keep that business going. But not only that, within the Global Tax Strategy Design course, I go into fully how to create a compliant global tax strategy. You are basically getting access to my brain. Over the last couple of years, I have helped hundreds of digital nomads, location-independent business owners, expat families with their international taxes. And what has come out of it as a result is the blueprint to global wealth, which is reliant on 4 fundamental pillars. And you get to steal that blueprint from me inside of Global Tax Strategy Design. So I take you basically by the hand and walk you step by step or pillar by pillar through the whole blueprint, so that by the end of it you will have a compliant tax strategy designed. By now you would have heard me talking about how important your personal tax residency is, and inside of Global Tax Strategy Design I spend a fair bit amount of time talking about your personal tax residency, talking about how you can get rid of your personal tax residency if you aren't from the US, and how you could possibly obtain a new, more favorable tax residency. So you get access to checklists, guides on how to actually get rid of tax residency, and also what more favorable tax residencies are around that you could obtain and that you maybe didn't even know before about. So there's a guide inside of there that covers all the tax residencies of popular digital nomad hubs. So you can just look up the country that you're going and know what tax rules you might be falling under. And then there's also a guide that talks about special tax exemption schemes that are not known to many, which is so exciting. And yes, there is also a section dedicated towards American expats and the exemptions that are available to you, as well as citizenship by investment programs and golden visas. Next, as I said before, I will be covering into much more further detail about business setups in low tax friendly countries, such as the requirements, the obligations. Do you need a local person to open up that company? How much capital do you need to open it up? How much money do you need to put into a bank account to open it up? What the fees are going to be, all of that. Plus also a guide on how and what to write in emails when you contact the offshore providers, the accountants and lawyers, and how to make sure that you choose a reliable partner to work with who's going to set up your business. And if you'd rather not waste your time emailing offshore providers, lawyers and accountants to get the best deals, then you will also get access to our professional network. So you get direct access to them, and you might even be getting better deals. And you'll also get access to our Facebook community, where we will occasionally host experts that are from various countries that host different tax exemption schemes. So you will hear it out of their mouth how it really goes down, what permits you need, and all the requirements you need to fulfill in order to take advantage of these tax exemption schemes that are available to all of you. And I also cover bank accounts, what bank accounts are easiest for foreigners to hold, what bank accounts you might even be able to open up remotely, which ones have worked the best for me as well as a traveler. One of the most important aspects for me in the creation of Global Tax Strategy Design was really combining the legal aspect with the practicality side of things. Because to be honest with you, doing consulting with my clients, I had just figured out that what is written in law, especially around tax residency rules, isn't necessarily what is always being practiced on the territory or in the country that you find yourself in. So for this course, I really want to make it hands-on. I want to tell you not only what are the tax residency rules as they're written in law, but I also want to tell you what are the practicalities, what do you need to show, what requirements do you need to fulfill, what documents do you need to bring with yourself. And for those of you, I've already talked a little bit about this in the free mini course. For those of you that still feel a little bit uncomfortable when I talk about tax exemption schemes and getting access to them, really stop it. It's written rules, it's written in the tax rules of whichever country you choose. Let's take, for example, Portugal. Countries have made these rules in order to attract more foreigners into their country, so to raise their own revenue with foreign investments. So they're out there whether you use them or not. So I just want to share that information with you because it doesn't get talked about a lot, and you'll be getting access to the most common ones, but also to some that I'm pretty sure you might have never heard about because I've never even used them. So super juicy information that doesn't really get shared around, you'll be getting access inside of Global Tax Strategy Design. And to make your life even more easier, more simpler and understandable in terms of tax rules, you will be getting access to some of the tax strategies that I've designed in the past for my clients, so that you really understand each of the single pillars, but then also how they're all coming together and need to be put together in order to have a compliant tax strategy that is going to serve you for the future years and going to save you a whole lot of money as well. Talking about compliance, there's also a section in there that talks about CFC rules, permanent establishment rules, management and control rules, because it is super important for you to know the limitations and the risk in setting up an international tax strategy, especially for those of you that aren't willing or just simply can't move abroad or be location independent, but who have a home base, especially in a country with really far-reaching tax rules. It is super important to know what the compliance rules are, what the risks are of having an international tax strategy. As I said at the beginning, I've literally put my whole brain inside of Global Tax Strategy Design. I hope that doesn't sound scary, but I've done it in such a way, and I've broken down the whole process in an easy to understand way, and you simply have to follow video by video, and at the end I promise it all will make sense, and you don't have to waste hours upon hours on Google researching, because I know some of you do, because I've done all the work for you and I've put it all inside of there. But guys, you need to hurry up because the early bird offer is about to expire, and I would hate for you to miss out on this opportunity. And lastly, I want to answer some of your questions that you guys have sent through. So the first one was from an accountant wondering whether or not I guess the course is for them. So actually majority of my following are other people within the industry, so other tax lawyers, tax accountants, offshore providers, and yes, absolutely, this course is for anyone that is curious, that wants to know more about international taxes, that wants to broaden their knowledge, even if you're not going to move to Portugal and make use of their tax exemption scheme. This is still for you, and I'm 100% sure you're still going to find value within it. The same goes for the next question. Someone saying the studying taxes, would this complement my studies? I was in your shoes years and years ago, and what I do now from what I learned back then is way different. As I said before, I'm really focusing on combining sort of the legal aspect with what's happening in practice. How is it being executed and implemented? So yes, definitely, you'll definitely find a different angle to your current studies to all of this. The next question, is this helpful for US-based businesses? Depends at what stage of your business journey you're in. It also depends on whether or not you're planning on moving abroad. If so, then definitely yes, but if not, then maybe you want to focus more on locally reducing your taxes before you start looking for international options, unless you're really planning for global expansion and growth, and then you might be looking into setting up a second leg to your already well-established business. I hope that makes sense. I cover all of this actually more inside of the course. And the next question, Will you be covering tax for cryptocurrency? You guys are crazy about cryptocurrency lately, but yes, there is a section inside the course that talks about cryptos and the way cryptos are taxed and which countries are more crypto tax friendly than others. It's not the main focus of this course, but I definitely talk about it. So that's it from me, guys. I think you now have a really great understanding of what to expect inside of Global Tax Strategy Design course. If you have any more questions, shoot them my way. Don't miss your early bird offer, and I'm so excited to see you inside of the course. Honestly, I can't wait for people to access this wealth of knowledge. Take care, guys.